right, thanks, Colin. And Gary, simply the keys to this game, you guys know each other real well. What do you need to do to win?
First of all, stop their transition game. And they are very patient offensively, and they score a lot of baskets around, close into the basket. They get a lot of layups against us this year, both ball games that we played. So, it's not Norberg and Kingsley that hurt us so bad. It's the other kids, too. But they wouldn't be the #1 seed if, or haven't done well. So they've done a great job, and we need to contain them on their transition game, and limit for one shot for one. That'd be another crucial thing for us to do.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck in this game. Let's bring Craig in, Craig Ubuling, and I'll ask you the same question. You guys know each other extremely well.
Are you talking about Coach Munson and I, or the Mitchell Kernels?
And the teams know each other. Your keys to victory are?
Well, I think both teams play the same style. I think against Mitchell, you've got to do a good job of taking away their inside game, and you got to be able to handle their man-to-man defense. And we've got to make sure that we make the extra pass tonight and look for high percentage shots. Defensively, Ryan Miller's one of the best players in the state. I think Jared Anderson is too. So it should be a great way to end a real good day of basketball.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. I think a lot of the fans around the state think the same thing. We'll be right back to meet the two teams as Mitchell and Watertown get ready for our final quarterfinal game.
The team members for the Arrows. Number 4, Spencer White. Number 14, Justin Kaufman. Number 20, Sean Swanson. Number 22, Aaron Kranz. Number 40, Ross Krantz. Number 42, Maddie Krantz. Number 44, Brent Streikhurst. And number 52, Andy Glenn. And now, here's the starting lineup for Watertown. At one guard, 5'11" sophomore, Justin Struckman. At the other guard, 6'2" junior, number 24, Brian Nordberg. At one forward, 6'3" junior, number 32, John Kingsley. At the other forward, 6'2" senior,
Ryan Cruz.
Number 34, Ryan Cruz. And at center, 6'5" senior, number 50, Matt Stupnick. The Arrows are coached by Craig Ubeling, assisted by Greg DeSpiegler and Dennis Gall. And now, introducing the cheerleaders for the Mitchell Kernels. Heather Kundert. Tara Pitts. Melissa Shue. Michelle Vanderheiden. Amy Steinfeld. Sherry Weish. And Kim Kiner. The Kernel cheerleaders are advised by Stacy Morgan. Here are the team members for the Kernels. Number 5, Matt Severide. Number 11, Jared Miller. Number 15, Brad Weish. Number 23, Scott Giblin. Number 25, Dan Anderson. Number 41, Brett Thieler. Number 43, Carl Pearson. And now the starting lineup for the Mitchell Kernels. At one guard, 6-foot senior, number 13, Todd Sprang. At the other guard, 6'2 senior, number 33, Ryan Miller. At one forward, 6'3 senior, number 31, Chad Fieldy. At the other forward, 6'1 senior, number 35, Mike Riddle. And at center, 6'4 senior, number 21, Jarrett Anderson. The Kernels are coached by Gary Munson, assisted by Bob Johnson and Doug Timmer. Officials for the game, Gary Reed and Jeff Wilbur.
We're just about set. They've met twice this year. Watertown has won them both. Mitchell comes in at 16-5. Watertown comes in at 17-3, one of the tri-champions in the ESD conference.
Yeah, that was really what forced it, which otherwise would have been a four-way tie had Watertown not defeated Mitchell both times. And Watertown was really pumped up to end that 25-year losing streak at the Corn Palace. And Coach Uveling said that really helped propel his team onto the rest of the year and got him going in the playoffs.
Stupnik and Anderson jump it up, and it comes away to the Arrows. This is Brian Norberg. Ryan Cruz, this is John Kingsley. Stupnik and Justin Struckman in the starting lineup. Norberg leads them in scoring. And a good defensive series to open up the game for the Kernels.
Well, without a doubt in this ball game, it will be defense that stands out. Defense will be the determining factor, as it is in many ball games. But with the two offenses and the both man-to-mans, it'll come down to the defense, I think.
That's Ryan Miller. He leads Mitchell in most categories, scoring, rebounding. 35 is Mike Riddle. 31 is Chad Feldy. Todd Sprang and Jarrett Anderson. That's Jarrett right there, also in the starting lineup.
He was tackled there a little bit. I think Stupnik is going to be called for the foul.
Yes, sir. Five seniors in the starting lineup for Mitchell. Struckman rips it down for the Arrows. The Arrows, on the other hand, Struckman a sophomore, Kingsley a junior, Norberg a junior, and Cruz and Stupnik are seniors, and that's John Kingsley with the first two of the ball game.
Yeah, Coach Uveling said that this is probably his most gratifying year as a coach because of what the team had last year with Jason Sullivan and three other seniors all graduating, and this team coming together with basically no expectations coming into this tournament with the #1 ranking, the #1 seed, and taking on Mitchell that brought the #4 rating into the tournament. Do we want to talk about how the 1 and 4 teams meet up in the first round?
We'll get a chance here.
Okay.
Miller tripped up, kicks it back outside. That's Chad Feldy, and it won't go. Rebounded by Stupnik. Yeah, we can get into that. Watertown comes in as the #1 seed. Mitchell is the #8, and why doesn't Craig Uveling like that?
Well, simply because he doesn't want to face Mitchell in the first round. But what happens is after the district championships, the first 4 teams qualify, and then they seed those and then play the other way around. He and most of the coaches would like to wait until all 8 teams are determined, then seed the state tournament. Craig says, well, if we're going to do that, let's just draw them out of a hat.
Ryan Miller picked up the loose ball and took it in against Ryan Cruz. Hoop and a hack. Ryan will go to the line. Keep the ball away from the defense. Take it up and score. Ryan averaging about 19 points on the season.
Leads the team in assists and scoring, steals, rebounding. Mr. Everything on the balanced team. Coach Munson always has balanced teams.
This is Norberg. Rebounded by Mike Riddle. Sprang makes good. And that's one thing that Ryan Miller will do for you. If he's not going to score, he's going to draw 2 and 3 guys to him and kick it out.
Sprang, you may remember him from the AA football championship, the quarterback for the Kernels. First year where he's seen a lot of playing time.
Jared Anderson gives it up to Riddle to Miller and back to Sprang, back to Miller. Just a bit too tall for John Kingsley. Mitchell's got a 4-2 lead. We've got 4:48 left in the first, and we'll be right back. Down by 2 here in the early going. Mitchell leads at 4-2, and they'll inbound. Todd Sprang will bring it up against Brian Norberg. Number 31 into the ball game, Chad Feldy. I guess he did start. Feldy with his first 2 of the ball game, and it's 6-2 Mitchell. Swanson is number 20 there for Watertown, guarding Todd Sprang. Number 42 for the Arrows is Matty Kranz. And Gary Reed's got a whistle inside.
Away from the basket, and I think Jared Anderson kind of held his head a little bit, and he finally did put his hand up. Tom, with 1 minute to go in Sioux Falls at the arena in the State B, Tulare leading Pollock 66-45. So it looks like Pollock will play Emory tomorrow. Armour will play Warner.
Andy Glenn spins for 2. 6-4 Mitchell.
Somewhat of a tough angle a little bit there for Glenn.
And you can see how deep Craig Uveling is going to go. He's already got 3 subs into the game.
The thing I'm most impressed with early on is the intensity of the straight-up man that both teams are playing.
Feldy to Sprang from about 15, yes. Todd Sprang has 4.
Todd's defensive play is really the thing that kind of makes him stand out, but hey, he's knocked down 2 shots already.
Kingsley was working the baseline, and he caught him dragging that pivot foot. And the Kernels will take over possession.
That's one of the reasons so many teams like to take offensive players toward the baseline. You get a double team on him, and really it's like a triple team, because with the line there, it's an added defender. You know, no one can come over to help you out in that end, and as an offensive player, you kind of put yourself in a tough spot.
Four out, 1 in for the Kernels. Ryan Miller on the drive, and Gary Reed's got a foul on the drive before the shot. And it's going to be on John Kingsley.
Third team foul. Kingsley with his first accrues, and Stupnick also have one. 33, Miller going hard to the basket. Kingsley trying to catch up. Most of the fouls you'll see is after the offensive player makes his initial move and gains that advantage.
Miller, 3 falling away. Nice stroke.
Excellent. Tough shot. You need to be strong to be falling away to hit a 20-footer.
Ryan Miller wanted to give it up to Sprang. Too many hands there, and Matty Kranz comes away with it for Watertown to Brian Norberg. And Craig Uveling and the Arrows want a timeout. Mitchell leads it 11-4. We've got 2 minutes to play in the first. Back at the AA, Lee, you've got an update from the State B tournament in Sioux Falls.
It is a final. Tulare, the Chieftains, remain undefeated, beating Pollock 67-49. So Armour, Warner, Emory, and Tulare, first-round winners at the State B.
Norberg, the three won't go. Put down by Ryan Miller. He's got Feldy ahead. This is Mike Riddle. And it'll stay at the Mitchell end.
You know, when players get hands and deflected shots and you see passes like that being deflected, it is an indication of what? A good defense. Players being in the passing lane.
Kingsley checks out. Ryan Cruz checks in for Watertown. Jarrett Anderson.
Anderson going to work against Glenn. And Watertown needs something positive to happen on the offensive side. Mitchell taking advantage of its possessions on the offensive end. Watertown with just 4 points so far. Tail end of the first quarter.
Foul was on Ryan Miller. Brent Strickers, number 44, there on the inbound pass is checked in. Norberg checks out, and that just won't go. Strickers, though, with the rebound, and they're going to get, who is it? Mike Riddle with the foul. Uberling wanted the shot to fall. First foul on Mike Riddle.
Craig's family from Omaha is driven up. I believe he said to Lamar's to watch the games. He says it's been kind of a yearly tradition. Last couple of years, Watertown in the tournament.
Riddle out, and Dan Anderson, number 25, 6'5" junior, checks in for Mitchell.
Dan is Jarrett's younger brother.
Is Jarrett's younger brother, both younger brothers of Chad Anderson, you might recall, played a little football down at USD.
Yeah, I'd say he played a lot and played it well.
And he was one of those guys on that 84-85 string when Mitchell won 3 straight in 84, 85, 86. Chad Anderson and Frederick, and there's Jarrett Anderson inside, counted in the foul.
And credit needs to go to Ryan Miller. Miller was the one who created it all. First, it was a head and shoulder fake out past the free throw line. Got his defender a little bit off balance. Ryan drives in, lays it off. There you see the fake. Miller draws the defenders, the drop pass, and the foul.
Ryan Miller leads the Kernels in scoring, leads them in assists, leads them in rebounding.
Three-pointer.
10-point lead for Mitchell, 15-5. 1:05 to play in the first quarter. Matty Kranz on the drive. Gives it up to Cruz, now to Struckman. Stupnick wants to get a shot off inside, but Gary Reed's got him for traveling.
Well, Anderson just kept his position. Jarrett just stood there and tried to make Stucknick move around him. That's exactly what did happen, but in order for Matt to try to create a shooting spot for him or face up, he moved the feet.
There's the game clock in your right-hand corner.
Mitchell's been extremely efficient on the offensive end, working for good shots. Really, I think probably on the offensive end, the worst shot that Mitchell has taken was that fadeaway three that Ryan Miller made. That's when it goes in, it becomes a good shot.
They had Anderson for a travel on the other end, so Watertown gets a shot, 20 seconds in the first. Feldy got a hand on it. Kingsley and Norberg check back in for Watertown. Strickers and Matty Kranz out. Look for him to create a shot for Brian Norberg. And he gets it, but Mitchell's got 8 seconds to do something with it. Dan Anderson. Blocked by Stupnick, that is, but they're going to get him for his second foul.
Mitchell's winning the battle of transition as well. Transition meaning going from offense to defense, or excuse me, defense to offense quickly. Miller with the rebound, the good outlet pass, and boom, just one pass and you're at half court. You have the numbers, and Anderson had the lane. Free throws is the one thing that Mitchell has not done well. And the Kernels generally a very good free throw shooting team, 68% on the year.
Struckman's going to let it fly. No. Mitchell leads it by 11. 16-5. We're back after the break. Watertown struggled a little bit in that first quarter offensively, Lee Timmerman.
Yeah, 2 of 9. We'll take a look a little bit later at the stats on the Norwest scoreboard. But yeah, 2 of 9 is not the way you want to start. Watertown got just 1 basket from its starters. Kingsley had a 2-point basket. Other than that, Strikers with a free throw, Glenn with a 2-point basket. And after 8 minutes, only 5 points. Not a very good start for Watertown. They have some work to do now.
Sprang, Feldy, Miller, Jared Anderson, and Dan Anderson start the second for Mitchell. This is Ryan Miller. And they got a foul on Ryan Cruz.
Explosive first step. It's one thing that Ryan Miller has, is he makes his initial move. Watch this. Boom. Before Cruz can even get set up defensively.
Now that's Kingsley. Did we have, was the foul away from the ball there?
On the board, they got it against Cruz. But it was Kingsley on the defense, wasn't it?
Yes.
Huh.
Jared Anderson
perplexed.
Could get it in the crotch. Ryan Cruz brings it down. This is Struckman into the front court. Looking for Brian Norberg.
Travis.
Ryan Cruz checks out because he has 3 fouls. 42, Matty Kranz checks in for him. And this is Norberg to Kranz. By Dan Anderson, but Kingsley comes away with it to Norberg. Shakes up Feldy and scores. Nice looking hoop from Brian Norberg, his first 2 of the ball game.
And Norberg does a little bit, but primarily an outside player, but he can go inside and he can score. He had 36 points in a game against Aberdeen earlier this year. Of course, it was 4 overtimes.
Todd Sprang was fouled on the drive. There's Todd. Foul goes on Struckman.
And that should be the bonus.
A 17 foul on Watertown.
First one on Norberg. Off the drive and the reach in, number 32, the junior Norberg called.
I beg your pardon. Take the foul away from Struckman. And Gary Munson was a little concerned about his backcourt coming into this this season, but Sprang and Feldy and these guys have really stepped up and done it for him. 17-7, Mitchell leads. Sprang makes it 18-7.
Very short. Dan Anderson swatted it away with some authority. Number 25 with the rejection, 6'5". Here it is, watch 25, boom.
Kingsley to Sean Swanson. This is Brian Norberg, 4-3.
All 5 points in the quarter from Norberg, and Watertown needed someone to come up, step up. Now it's up to the Arrows defense.
Anderson to Sprang on the baseline. Nice looking offensive series.
Exceptional. Work the triangle on the right side. Nothing there. Zip it along the base for the jumper. Very nice. Good teamwork. Team basketball stressed by Coach Munson. His 21st year with Mitchell.
Norberg had position down low, and they catch Chad Feldy with his hand in there. 20-10, Mitchell with the lead. We've got 5:12 to play before halftime. They're going to call Maddie Kranz for the foul.
If anything, you chalk it up as the hustle foul.
Michael Riddle will step to the line, shoot the 1-on-1. And Norberg will run it the other way to Matty Kranz, to John Kingsley. Watertown in that Indiana offense. Pick away, come off the pick, look for the jump shot. Mitchell, though, doing a fine job of getting over the screens, either trailing or coming around. And there's another block for Dan Anderson. But it comes away to Stupnik, and he traveled before he got the shot off.
You're right, Tom. I think you hit it right on the nose. On the defensive side of the things, the one thing you have to do against an offense that's mainly a screen-away offense is basically work. If you don't work, you're going to get picked. Got to fight your way through picks and around picks, and right now, and so far in the game, Mitchell has done that. Their defensive intensity and proficiency on offense is why the lead is doubled.
Miller off to Riddle, no. Sprang, though, runs it down. Jared Anderson to brother Dan, that won't go, and they're going to get Dan Anderson coming over the back.
Yes, indeed. That was pretty easy to see.
They just couldn't get it to go, and that was a little bit of a frustration foul, yeah. There's John Kingsley.
But again, a very good example of the team type work. There was three good passes before the shot went up.
Just the 15th foul on Mitchell. Stupnik inside, jump hook won't go, and Jared Anderson gives it up to Mike Riddle, and the Kernels want to run. Ryan Miller pulls up, good.
The look away pass to the wing.
Watertown's got to find some offense. Struckman to Kingsley. Stupnik will go up again, and this time Jared Anderson got him on the forearm.
The last time Stupnik went up, Anderson just kept his position, held his position, didn't really challenge the shot. This time, Jarrett does do that. Leaning in, reaching in. That was a more difficult offensive attack, chance for Stupnik than the last one.
Number 41 is Brett Thieler, 6'2" sophomore for the Kernels. Jared Anderson sits down. He's got 2 fouls. And Stupnik will shoot the second and hit the second. 2 for Matt Stupnik, and it's 22-12, Mitchell. Glenn in, Stupnik out. And the Kernels go on the attack. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play before the half. Ryan Miller from deep, and it won't go. Rebounded by Matty Kranz. Struckman on a wing. Nice.
That's what the doctor ordered for Watertown. Get the stop on one end, the basket on the other. You need that combination, and they'll need it more to take a bigger bite out of the lead.
Riddle found Miller on the back door, and it wouldn't go for Ryan. Ripped down by Andy Glenn, and Watertown can cut it to 6. Here's Ryan Cruz. No. Rebounded, though, by Brian Norberg. And Watertown is within 6. 7 points for Norberg.
Glenn kind of kept it alive a little bit there, and it felt right. Norberg was just in the right spot.
And the Kernels will back it out. Sprang will set the offense.
Nice job by the Arrows the last couple of minutes.
There's Spieler to Sprang. Good defense by the Arrows, but Todd gets it back. And Todd Sprang has 10 points for Mitchell, and the Kernels lead it by 8.
Todd coming in, averaging only 3.5 points a game. He's had the open shots and he's hit them.
Excellent defense by Mike Riddle. Matty Kranz got mine, but Riddle recovered enough to strip it away.
A clean pick, no doubt. Nice job, Riddle.
Struckman breaking out. Nice shoot from Justin Struckman. He's got 2-4 here in the second quarter. And it's back to a 6-point lead.
Well, neither one of those for Struckman were really easy, but they both
acrobatic,
just straight in.
Todd Sprang again. He's got 12.
Man of the hour.
We're under a minute to play. 50 seconds left in the first half. Norberg thought about 3, got fouled going up for 2. Dan Anderson to be whistled.
Cruz is the one who created the shot. Ryan, number 34, set the screen for Norberg. Norberg works off it and draws the foul. The switch had to be made. That's the second foul on Anderson. You set a good pick, you'll get a good shot. If the defense is not talking and you can't work through it.
Norberg played a great tournament for Watertown last year as the Arrows finished as the runner-up to Huron. Junior, he makes good on 1 of 2. 8 in the game for Norberg. Strickers checks back in. And there is he, Brent Strickers. And the Watertown pressure causes the turnover. 35 seconds to play in the half. Struckman wants to check back in. There's Justin. Sean Swanson checks out. There's your game clock. Watertown down by 7. Struckman on top. Now they'll run Norberg off a pick or 2. There's Brian, pulls up the 3. It's online, but short. Stupnik there for the putback. And that's how the first half ends. Matt Stupnik scores to cut the Mitchell lead to 5, 26-21. Lee Timmerman is just grabbed Mr. Gary Munson. Let's go down there right now.
All right, thanks, Tom. Gary, Watertown making a run here late in the half, but still I think your defensive game plan is worked with just plain work. Is that correct?
Yeah, we talked about playing a little zone tonight, but we haven't had so far. So, we're doing a pretty good job on Norberg. They ready to run there, but you're not going to keep a basketball. You know, I think our biggest lead was a 12-point lead, but some of our better athletes got tired. You know, you can't play like that for 32 minutes. So, you know, we're up 5. It's their possession, but we're still in good shape the way I look at it.
What type adjustments are always the key to halftimes? Do you have any in mind right now?
Well, the biggest is right now is just taking care of ourselves. You know, just like right at the end there, don't let them get a second shot. And we'd be up by 7 instead of by 5 right now. So those are the kind of things that are important these next 16 minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Gary. Gary Munson, his team with the lead. We're at half, and we'll be back to the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center. But first, let's do this. Well, Craig, you came and said a little nervous, but that apparently was gone in the second quarter. You kids hit a few shots and really got it going again, didn't you?
Well, Mitchell's defense right now has kind of got us out of sync, and we've got to show a little bit more patience in the half-court game. These kids won't quit, but we're going to have to play a lot better in the second half if we're going to have a chance to win.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. And it was much better in that second quarter, kind of an indication, I think, Tom, of things to come in this second half.
Yeah, Watertown, after that slow start, they scored just 5 points in the first quarter, 16 in the second. They've got 21 at the half. Mitchell ran out to an 11-point lead in the first quarter, and it's down to 5, 26-21 Mitchell as we start the second half. And the starting lineups, one change in the starting lineup for Mitchell. Dan Anderson will make the start instead of Mike Riddle. Same starting 5 for Watertown, though. This is Norberg to John Kingsley.
I think a lot of that reason, too, maybe because Dan came up with a couple of big blocks and was playing in that hard-nosed defense.
Yeah, played well at the defensive end.
Of the two teams at halftime, I think Mitchell was happy to have halftime coming. Chance to rest a bit.
And Cruz gets it to fall. Lions' first 2 of the ball game, and it's a 3-point Mitchell advantage. Todd Sprang runs it in against Justin Struckman off to Chad Feldy. Knocked away by Kingsley, but it'll stay at the Mitchell end.
Well, I think that second quarter time was kind of an indication of is character the right word to kind of show, you know, Watertown down by double digits, came back, stayed within the offensive scheme plan, worked through some of Mitchell's tough defensive stands, and got what was a double-figure lead back into an easy, manageable 5 points.
And the other surprise was that Todd Sprang, who had 12 points in the first half, and he only averages 4. That's Jared Anderson.
Dan Anderson.
He's got 6, averages 11.
Dan the assist, top to bottom, brother to brother.
Cruz into Stupnick. Matt Stupnick turns on Jared Anderson. And Stupnick picks up where he left off at the end of the first half. Had that big hoop.
It's a nice power move. Fake one way, go dip a little bit, go strong back up. When Matt's going like that, you can't really... I don't think you can stop him. I mean, you just take a look at him. He's big, he's wide, he's strong. You get going to the basket, and you either foul you or you're going to make it.
Get him up, step through. Go to the hoop. Ryan Miller. Miller's got 9, and Mitchell's up by 5, and it's off the hands of John Kingsley. Mitchell hanging on to that 5-point lead. Craigie Ubeling and the boys trying to cut into it. We'll be back.
Here's to what we talked about, Tom, as being a power move from your center. Dip the shoulder one way, get the defensive man to commit, dip back, power it in. Nice move by Stupnick in the post.
6 for Stupnick as Feldy triggers it in for the Kernels. Jared Anderson looking for some room. Back out to Ryan Miller. He gets Kingsley in the air. Count it.
If the name Ryan Miller sounds, or Miller, I should say, in basketball circles around the Mitchell area, it should. Not only because of Ryan, who, as an 8th grader, played on the sophomore team, but he's got a couple uncles that everyone knows. How about Alan Miller? Does that ring a bell?
I've heard of him.
Alan played at Stickney and, of course, at DWU and Mitchell. Had a terrific career at both of those places.
Ryan Miller has 11 in the ball game, averages 19 on the season. Mitchell leads it by 7. Kingsley wanted Norberg, but Chad Feldy was in the way.
And yeah, Norberg just was more in the middle post, and that passes to the low post.
Looking for the back door to Dan Anderson. Instead, he gets the jumper, and Andy Glenn got him from behind.
The catch is the impressive part of that little exchange, because Jarrett's pass down to Dan was off the mark. It was actually going away from him. And the junior Dan had to really stretch himself out. Here, watch the catch. Whoop. Yeah, that was the impressive part. To gather himself up and go right back up to the shot to draw the foul.
Gary wants a little more movement out of that offense. They're not getting to the spots they need to be right now as Anderson misses on both, and it's still a 7-point Mitchell lead. Sean Swanson with the ball. And Todd Sprang was a little too close. First foul on Sprang. There's Todd, football quarterback, Coach Bob's son. Norberg spinning, looking. Swanson back to Norberg. Swanson just a bit short on the 3, and Miller rips it out. Sprang runs it up. He's got Feldy.
Travel, but Mitchell's been going to that high post, using one of the 2 Andersons most of the time up around the free throw line. The inlet pass there, he squares up and looks at which cutter from the baseline or from the wings is going to come down and try to create the advantage. That was just a turnover, travel on Dan, but again, the same thing Mitchell's tried.
Ryan Norberg down low. Got fouled, but the shot wouldn't go, and the foul's going to be on. Is it on Miller? No, it's on 21, Jarrett Anderson.
Third one on Jarrett.
Brian Norberg as a sophomore, actually as a freshman in the 92 title game when Watertown beat O'Gorman out here for the title. Brian Norberg had 15 points in that game as a freshman and played a vital role in Watertown. Second place finish last year. Matty Kranz called for the block.
What Mitchell's doing is working again from the middle. Before we talked a little bit about how it's been the flasher high post turnaround. That time it was basically a drive. Create something in the middle, find which wing is open, and work it off to either side. And the Kernels doing some struggling from the line. For 5 here in the second half.
Just under 4 minutes to play, second quarter. Norberg with a runner, won't go. Andy Glenn's there for the rebound. Didn't get the putback. Dan Anderson tears it down. Sprang's got a man ahead of him. And Feldy, no. Jarrett Anderson rebound, no. Here comes Matty Kranz. And Jeff Wilbur catches Todd Sprang with his second foul.
Really kind of a break for Watertown, because Mitchell had a 4-on-2 break and a couple of chances to try to get the ball to go in. It didn't. The arrows come out and also get the foul. So Watertown definitely the advantage of that particular exchange.
Stickers is 44. Matty Trans into Brian Norberg. Pumps. Won't go. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up. Nice effort from Brian Norberg. He's got 3.5, 11 in the game. Nice defense by Strickers. We've got a held ball, and the possession arrow points to the Mitchell Kernel end. Feldy's the trigger man to Miller, to Dan Anderson, to Sprang. Look for Miller on the baseline for 3. Yes.
You called the top. Working through 2 screens. Ryan Miller, his second 3 of the game.
Great shooters love great inbounds plays. Miller's got 7.5 to go with 7 in the first half. He's got 14, and we got Dan Anderson called for reaching in down low on John Kingsley. Third foul on Dan Anderson.
Brother Jarrett has 3, and Ryan Cruz has 3 fouls.
Number 5 is Matt Severide. He'll check in, and Ryan Miller will check out. Kingsley wanted Glenn to... You saw Craig Uveling with that little shovel motion, and he didn't want the pass coming from down there. He wanted the direct line in as Sprang runs it back, and he's fouled on the way there by Struckman. 2:29 to play in the third. Mitchell with a 7-point lead. Norberg back in, Struckman out.
This quarter's been somewhat of a wash. Neither team really able to gain an advantage. First quarter belonged to Mitchell. Watertown had the second quarter. This one's pretty much been pretty even.
Severide to Mike Little, who's back in. Sprang working on Norberg. Back out to Severide to Sprang. Inside from Mike Little to Dan Anderson.
Little brings the offense up with a little step up. Just a hook pass right around the defender.
There's your third quarter clock as Norberg works it inside. And 2 more for Brian. He's got 14.
Norberg has taken the offensive role on. Said, I'll try and carry you guys.
Anderson was hacked on the way up by Matty Crans. Gary Munson looking up at that clock. He wants to keep it running.
His 21st year. Gary is busy with the sport of basketball. He's also the head girls basketball coach for the Kernels, and he's completed his 5th year in that. One thing that Dan Anderson, I think I like about him is when he grabs the ball, he keeps it up, and he's really quick back with the shot off the catch. Just not really giving the defense much of a chance to come over and try and block it. You know, Mitchell up by 7. Their lead could be easy double figures if the free throws were going in, and they're not.
Yeah, that makes Gary Munson a little red in the face. Tighten the collar when that happens. There's what he likes to see.
That's the first make of the second half from the line.
8-point lead. We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. Swanson down to Stupnick, working on Dan Anderson, and there's another power move inside from Matt Stupnick.
Once Stupnick establishes that position, there's not much that Mitchell's able to do. So it's there.
Munson calling for the offense to go into motion. And that means Ryan Miller with the ball most of the time. Stupnick tears it down. 2 seconds. Kingsley knows. We've played 3. Mitchell has the lead. Welcome back to Rapid City on this St. Patty's evening. Mitchell's up by 6 as we start the fourth quarter, and the Watertown fans are getting a little riled up.
And what they want their team to do is the same thing that happened in that second quarter. Create a couple of more extra turnovers on the defensive end and get the offense in gear. Not that it has been bad. But Mitchell did a very good job in that third period of taking care of the basketball, Tom, I thought.
Andy Glenn, nice catching a hoop inside. Glenn's got 4, and the lead is 4 now for Mitchell, 38-34. And the Watertown fans crank it up another notch.
And when you have the lead, you dictate the pace. Mitchell has dictated the pace by getting the passing game going.
Miller was just short on the shot, and then he got kind of a touch foul afterwards.
You don't really stop that. You hope that Miller misses.
You hope he comes up short like that. Just 2 fouls on Ryan. And Watertown can cut it to a deuce if they get a hoop here. Struckman working against Todd Sprang. Struckman, nice.
Just like that second quarter, it's not how many baskets Watertown made, but it's when Watertown made the baskets after a Mitchell miss. Look at that. 6-point is down to 2.
Watertown's making a run. They're within 2. Second foul on Brian Norberg. 6-team foul for Watertown. No bonus yet. Kernels will play it in under their own hoop.
Jump it up, which way's the arrow going.
Held ball, it'll stay Mitchell ball.
Update from the NCAA tournament, Tom. In the second half, Wisconsin and Cincinnati in a good one. The Badgers leading it by 2, 57-55.
There's Matt Stupnick. You saw him back into the game for Craig Uberling. Mitchell by 2. 1 minute down in the fourth quarter. Ryan Miller floats and gives it to Mike Riddle, and that's a big hoop from Mike Riddle.
First hoop for Riddle. Anderson the block. Another big block by the junior Dan Anderson. What happens here? Bodies all over. The foul goes against Cruz, I think.
Yep, Cruz is going to get called for the hustle foul.
It's been a tough night for Cruz. I think that's his 4th. Or it's the 5th.
Here's how it unfolded.
Wham! Dan Anderson takes it right away. Boom, he has done a good job of doing that.
He tried to save it off of Miller, and that's when the free-for-all started, and Cruz picked up the foul.
And I was off one, Tom. That was his 5th. That was Ryan's 5th. I thought it was his 4th. I forgot to make a little mark somewhere along the way.
His 5th foul was the 17th foul for Watertown, so Miller will shoot the winning one. That's 15 now for Ryan Miller. 6:07 to play in the 4th. Mitchell by 6. A little holding Brian Norberg trying to come off the pick.
Yeah, the pick by Stupnick was set well. You're right, Norberg tried to go through it. We'll watch, and the hold was before the pick was set up. I caught it a little bit late, so there was the holding before.
There's Brian inside, and Dan got a piece of his arm that time.
A big piece. When you're a shot blocker, you know you're going to get fouls like that. And so far, Dan Anderson tonight has shown us that, yes, indeed, he is a shot blocker, but not this time.
4th foul on Dan Anderson. Yeah, when you start getting the big arm swing like that is when you start picking up those fouls. But he's got probably half a dozen blocks already, as Norberg can't connect on the 1st.
The final in overtime in the NCAA. Michigan beats Pepperdine in a good game in overtime, 78-74.
Norberg missed them both, and then he picks up the foul. And we'll go to the Mitchell end, where Todd Sprang will shoot the 1-and-1.
Sprang again had that huge second quarter.
He had 12 in the first half. That's his first point of the second half. And Mitchell leads it by 8. 5:45 to play in the 4th quarter. Swanson to Norberg. Ryan Miller thought he got away with one, but Gary Reed caught him with a whistle on the reach-in. 3rd foul on Ryan Miller. There's Matty Kranz. He's going to step to the line. First point of the ball game for Matty Kranz. Cuts the lead to 7, and that one cuts it to 6. That's 44-38.
First, the speed from Ryan Miller saved that from being a turnover. It appears Mitchell taking a little bit of time to get set in what it wants.
Semi-spread, and Anderson found Sprang down low. Count it, Todd. Yes, Todd Sprang.
The pass from Jared Anderson Mitchell passes the ball well. We've seen that. Sprang has been the guy who has come up big in this game.
16 for Todd, make it 17 for Todd Sprang. We've got to go away for a few minutes. 4:55 to play. Mitchell's up by 9. Just when you thought Watertown was going to get right back into it, Mitchell goes on a little bit of a run, and they're back up by 9.
And that little bit of a run keyed by free throws, I think, Tom. And Mitchell missed all but one free throw in that third period, and they have not missed yet. The Kernels have it in the fourth.
Can't connect. Loose ball go on the floor, and the possession arrow points to the Watertown end.
And credit Kranz. Maddie knocked it away, then jumped right on top of it.
There's Maddie. He and Andy Glenn were both in on it.
Here it is, number 42, right there, controls it.
Back to live action, and Norberg off on a 3, but there's Glenn again. Goes up. Nice hoop. Andy has 6.
And made a couple of those kind of off-balance, somewhat awkward-looking shots, but it's straight in.
Todd Sprang, nice push of the ball to break the defense down, and then he found Anderson on the baseline.
Those are the normal, quote-unquote, normal type of things that Todd Sprang brings Mitchell. The things that Gary Munson expects out of him. Not necessarily the 17 points, but the pass that led to that foul.
Yep. Andy Glenn got a lot of ball, but he got a little bit of body, and Jarrett is shooting the 2. The lead is 8. The clock is at 4 minutes, and Norberg came up short on the dinner roll. Sprang pushing again, this time to Anderson off his hands, and a break for the Arrows.
Mitchell had the break, had the numbers, and Coach Craig Ubeling, but it was Gary Munson saying, go ahead and slow it down, slow it down. There's still loads of time left in this, too.
A lot of time. 3:45 to play. And Norberg is going to be the man that's going to bring him back. Glenn had it knocked away inside, and he gets another one of those to fall. 6 in the quarter, 8 in the game for Andy Glenn, and the lead's down to 6. Good looking pull up. 18 now for Ryan Miller.
You know, it's real hard not to, when you have the numbers, to go ahead and take the shot, or try and make the pass like Sprang did down low that would turn into a turnover, or like Miller did this time, and he hit it.
Todd Sprang and the Kernels are up by 8. We'll be back after this. 15 to play in the fourth quarter. Mitchell's got an 8-point lead, and this man's been a big reason. Todd Sprang has 17 so far. This is the front end of the one-on-one.
That's the first miss for Todd. He made 5 straight before then.
And the dribble got a little high, got up into Todd's uniform, and he turns it over.
Back to the NCAA for an update. In the second half, Wisconsin leading Cincinnati. That game staying close, 62-60 Badgers.
50-42 Kernels right here. We're under 3 minutes now, 2:55. John Kingsley needs that one to go, yes. 3 for Kingsley, and it's 50-45. Gary Munson yelling out, patience. Kernels in the semi-spread. 4 out, 1 in. Minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Anderson loose inside, and Glenn got him with a body just as Jared was falling out of bounds.
Because he didn't handle the pass cleanly. Anderson trying to collect it again along that baseline, and Glenn following the play. And once he got it, though, Jarrett went right straight back to the basket because he knew, hey, I've got my defender on my backside. Let's take advantage of it.
And they continue to struggle. 4th foul on Andy Glenn for Watertown.
Now, other than the stretch in the early stages of this quarter when Mitchell built the lead, the Kernels have not shot well from the free throw line. Get in there!
Dan Anderson, big rebound, went back up with it and got fouled by Struckman.
On the way up. That time Dan just kind of faded away a little bit. I've got a theory on free throws. I think if you can tell by watching the heels of the shooter and if the ball has a chance to go in. Anderson stayed on his heels last time. That time he came up on him, followed through well.
All right, I'll buy it. 51-45, 6-point lead for the Kernels. We are under 2 minutes, 1:59. Kingsley again won't go, and it's torn down by Ryan Miller. There's your game clock, and they got a block on Justin Struckman.
Sprang really needed to try and make a move because Struckman was getting some help on the defensive side to try and create a trap right in that corner. There you see Kingsley, 24, coming over. Sprang took off, beat Struckman to the sideline.
It's 18 now for Todd Sprang. Averages 4.
Under 4, actually, yeah. When you go into the 3 points, whatever.
Looks good on them both. 19 for Sprang. 8-point lead for the Kernels. 1:45 to play. Watertown wants a timeout. They're going to take one, too. Welcome back. 1:44 to play in the 4th. Mitchell's hanging on to an 8-point lead. Watertown will trigger it in. Kingsley to Matty Kranz to Brian Norberg. Riddle. Sprang, Riddle, no. Anderson, no. And Riddle is out of bounds, and it'll go back to Watertown. Watertown's had some chances. They just cannot get a basket when they need it.
Yeah, Norberg did all that work to try and get low, and then he tried to make the pass. Arrows need points. Go ahead and think shot, Brian.
1:20 to play in the game. Struckman works to Kingsley. Now to Norberg. That's 3 if it goes, but it won't. Dan Anderson's got Riddle.
And Mitchell will pull it back out. Not the two guys who are the best at running the break trying to run it.
One minute exactly to play in the ball game. The foul is on Brian Norberg, his 4th. And it'll be Ryan Miller at the line. That's 19 for Ryan Miller. As Matt Stupnick checks back in, Sean Swanson also in. As Matty Kranz checks out. Miller gets them both. 10-point lead now. We're under a minute. Sean Swanson short on the three. Stupnick rebounds, and he's got it. And Watertown will get a timeout. We're going to keep it here. 48.3 seconds to play. Mitchell with an 8-point lead.
Nice job by Mitchell of realizing the situation on the court, knowing you have a 10-point lead. When Stupnick got that ball down low, they, meaning Mitchell, just pulled back. Go ahead and take the points. We don't want the foul. You have to go ahead and use a timeout to stop the clock.
Gary Munson figuring out a way to get it in, first of all, against the Watertown press, and then beat the press, too. But they don't need to score. They're up by 8. They're going to pull it out into that semi-stall offense and let Watertown come after them.
Yeah, Mitchell won't have too much time to run that offense because Watertown will go out and foul to stop the clock. It's the 50th appearance for Mitchell in the state tournament. With 16 state championships. The last in 91. Beating Central. Kernels also beat Lincoln in 1990. And then that run that you talked about in the mid-80s as well, Tom.
Down to Mike Riddle. Gets it off to Sprang, who avoids most of the defense. Stricker's got him with 44.5 seconds to play. And again, the regular season matchup between these two, Watertown won them both, which has not happened in a long time.
Wins in Watertown have happened, but wins at Mitchell, that's another story. You go back 25 years before this year that Watertown got the Kernels in the Palace.
Norberg will run it in, 38 seconds to play. Slices through for 2. And Swanson fouls Dan Anderson.
Coach saying we've got a lot of time. We've got a lot of time, trying to encourage his crew to go ahead, and if the miss happens, come down, take the first decent shot.
Just a 6-point lead, and Anderson has struggled at the line.
But actually,
until now,
he doesn't have a lot of time.
Yes. 30.4 seconds to play. Anderson gave him a 7-point lead. Norberg wants 3, gets 3. Here comes the pressure.
That's what makes making the front half of that last 1-and-1 big, because the lead still is 4. The magic number again with the 3-point line is 4. You want to lead by 4, and the same thing can happen here. Making the front ends are the big key down the stretch.
Just a 4-point lead, 56-54. Norberg runs it in. 14 seconds on the clock. Here's another one straight away. No, Ryan Miller rebounds. And he's fouled by Struckman, and I think Justin Struckman is gone.
But that shot had to go down for Watertown. Norberg was way out there beyond the CBA 3-point line. His last one went, and with less than 10 seconds, the Arrows needed that shot to go down.
Justin Struckman fouls out with 6 points. There's Justin, just a sophomore. And Gary Munson makes a good point. Once we get under 5 seconds, any made Watertown hoop ends the game pretty much, because the Kernels can just run out of bounds, run to the locker room if they want to with the ball. Mitchell up by 4. Ryan Miller at the line with the 1-and-1. Makes good. And Ryan's got 21.
If this goes in, I think Coach Munson is saying call a timeout, and two of his players started walking toward Jeff Wilbur, and he said, no, only if this goes in.
Ross Kranz and Aaron Kranz just checked in for Watertown. And Miller's got 22 in the ball game. Mitchell's got a 6-point lead, 9.7 seconds left.
And basically what I think Coach Munson wants is just to reassure his team that, hey, our lead is now 6. If it goes in the basket, just stand out of bounds and let the 5 seconds tick off.
Yeah, Watertown's got to go the length of the court. Even if they hit 3, it's still a 3-point game. And it looks like the Kernels, the number 8 seed. Yeah, don't get us started on that, but looks like they'll move on to play Huron tomorrow in the semifinals.
Aberdeen and O'Gorman will be our first game tomorrow night.
And we better be ready to move quick here after this game's over. We got the Mitchell crowd behind us, and Jay, you ready to get out of here? Aaron Kranz will inbound it for the Arrows, looking for Norberg long. He's got it, shoots 3. No.
Did not hit the rim, so it stopped out.
There's the time remaining.
I think Coach Munson wanted the clock to keep going, but it did not hit the rim.
But it will now, and we'll end it with a Dan Anderson layup, and Mitchell moves on with an 8-point win over Watertown, 60-52. The Kernels avenge 2 regular season losses to Watertown. Ryan Miller had 22 for the Mitchell Kernels. Todd Sprang with a great game for Mitchell. And we've got a relieved Gary Munson down on the floor with Lee Timmerman. Lee?
All right, Tom, as you can imagine, Gary is kind of talking about his free throws. And, well, you can stop sweating now. Enough of them went in to win it.
We made some at the end. You know, that's what it counts too. But we've got a great free throw shooting team. You know, we're shooting about almost 70%. That's pretty good for high school basketball. But we just struggled at the free throw. And, you know, last year in the state tournament in Sioux Falls, it's the same thing in the semifinal game. We made 3 out of 14, and they won by 6 or 7 points. You know, it cost us, but the nights we hung on.